was the president of the United States, I'd have a double jumper going across the White House gates. And a dirt track in every elementary school. In a mud bog in place of a swimming pool. Go!
All right, guys, what's up? This is episode 9 of the Upshift MX podcast. We are out here at south of the border. We got the big sombrero water tower in the background over there. I got to come out this morning and see all the guys putting in some motos, getting ready for the Loretta Lens Amateur National. You're already finished with the regionals, correct?
Yep.
But they have a youth regional down here this weekend. Honestly, might have to come back and check it out because it looks like some of the little guys have been ripping, and they're looking to take some W's earlier today. But my guest today, he's on the number 70 Yamaha. Devin, is it Simonson?
Yeah, Simonson.
Okay,
yep.
yeah. I've called you with my fair share of both either way.
Yeah, a lot of people don't. I don't know, man. They just mess it up. I don't know how, but whatever.
Well, it's like, if it's just Simon, it looks like Simon, but then you get the sun on the end. And
you're right.
It gets confusing. But so you're a 250 Pro Sport and 450 Pro Sport this year.
Yep.
You got qualified in both. You had to go to 2 regionals. We'll get to that a little bit later.
For sure.
But yeah, no, man, I've known you for a while. You shred. You're obviously yet another guy that puts me to shame anytime he's on the track with me. And so, just excited to get your story, man, kind of how you got into the sport. And then, I know you've been putting in some work real serious these past few years, and then what the plans are for the future.
Yep.
So with that being said, from the beginning, kind of how did you get into moto?
Yeah, so I think I was like 4 years old, and I actually went and watched one of my buddies. His name's Cameron Trout. His dad was a painter and stuff, and my dad was real good friends with him. So I actually went and watched him one day at this local track that was near me, and ever since then I was hooked and just wanted to do it.
So you didn't come from like a racing background, like your dad didn't race or anything like that?
No one in my family has ever touched a dirt bike.
Wow, that's awesome. So where are you from originally?
Indiana.
Okay, so what were some of the local tracks you kind of grew up riding? I'm probably not going to know.
Well, I was close to Illinois, so it was like Lincoln Trail, Sunset Ridge. Let's see, I think Wildcat Creek, places like that.
So like when you got on a bike, was it instantaneously like, I'm going to be the next Ricky Carmichael, or was it just kind of for fun at first? Like,
it was more for fun.
I mean, it's always
first.
for fun,
yeah. I didn't really start. I don't know. My dad kind of just said, if we're gonna do it, we might as well do it right.
Go for it. Yeah, that makes sense. So I know we kind of talked about in your younger years, you were just kind of only doing Lorettas. When did you say you took it serious and kind of took that next step to kind of get on a national amateur circuit?
Yeah, I rode like a Honda 50 until I was probably 8 or 9, and then I got a KTM 50. And then that's actually when my dad was like, if we're going to do it, we might as well do it right.
Right.
And, I don't know. I think I started taking it real serious probably my first year at B class. I mean, honestly, I always trained, but I was like 12 years old, so I never, you know what I mean? It's not,
right.
It's not really training. It's just riding,
Yeah.
But yeah, probably when my first year at B class when I took it real serious.
Okay, so as far as like the minis, you said you were on like a 50 till about 8 or 9, and then the 65s. And I feel like, didn't you have a Suzuki 85 at one point? Yeah, I feel like I remember you had a Hog Heaven riding in that thing. So when did you come down to North Carolina?
I stayed in North Augusta, North Augusta, Georgia, South Carolina, somewhere around there.
North Augusta, Georgia,
something like that. I stayed down there for a while, and I think we moved to another training facility when I think it might have been 2012, beginning of 2012.
Okay.
And then I stayed there till the end of 2012. I moved here at the beginning of 2013.
Now, as far as like the training facility lifestyle, where I mean, like I've gotten to kind of get a glimpse into his day out here, and bright and early, you guys are out here getting ready for motos, and then you kind of said like this is your day in and day out. Do you like that setup where you have one thing to focus on pretty much every day, or does it wear you out sometimes? Does it get old?
Yeah, sometimes I feel like when I was younger, it definitely got old, like riding every day and stuff. But now it's almost like I want to ride so bad that, you know what I mean? It's just kind of,
Well, and I feel like you're at the age now to where like you understand how valuable practice time is stuff like that.
Definitely.
So when what was the first place you went? Club? Was that where you were originally?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So kind of getting into that lifestyle, did you pick up like big differences like right off the bat? Like were you noticing big changes in your riding style, or was it kind of just a gradual?
Yeah, my first year there, actually, that's really, they helped me out a lot. I can't say nothing bad about them. They helped me out a lot, got me way better. But yeah, they just, I don't know. Not right off the bat, I wouldn't say, but it took me a little while, definitely.
Right. Yeah, no, it's because I mean, like, obviously I've ridden at club before, and then I've ridden out here before as well. But it seems like the people that live out here and stuff like that, just the bike time. Because like for me personally, I can train in the gym all I want, but if you're not on the bike, you're really
Definitely.
not getting better. And there's a certain race shape that you have to get into. And I think being able to come, I've been able to watch you. Like we got your room right behind us, and right after a moto, it's maybe a 30-second ride back to literally
it's
like
nice,
your house.
definitely,
And you're able to take a second and relax, and so that's got to be an advantage. Now, as far as the amateur game, you said once you got into B class, that's kind of when you wanted to start taking it really serious.
Yeah.
I don't know, how's it been? I mean, like, as far as, like with the B class and everything like that, you've obviously had some success and stuff like that. But has it been difficult kind of fighting to get some attention and get to the front of the pack?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, it's always, I guess you always want to beat the factory guys, and when you don't, it kind of sucks, but I guess it's part of it. Yeah, I don't know, I guess.
Do you feel it almost like any disadvantage kind of being on the East Coast as to where some of those guys, like the practice tracks they're at every week, some of the pro
No, not really, honestly. I like what I'm doing here, and I just don't know. I think it works.
It's kind of funny because I was talking about it with somebody else the other week, and it seems like you're almost starting to see a shift where people are coming east.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you're good. You've got like the Gibbs guys that are out here, and then with Club and SOB, and then the Georgia facilities. Obviously, Millsaps has been around for a long time. It seems like that heat and humidity, good old southern heat, is what everybody's
hot,
chasing.
man. It's
Yeah,
too
no,
hot.
it's gnarly out there. But thankfully it's kind of been a little overcast. It sprinkled a little bit earlier today, and so it's been great spectating weather.
Yeah,
I don't know what
I
it's
bet.
like riding, but
It's
it's
pretty
been
nice
good.
riding too.
Yeah,
It's
I've
finally not
been taking
1,000
some
degrees
photos.
out there.
Yeah, no, you guys were putting in some heaters, but at least it wasn't just
Yeah.
insanely hot. Like I know
last
it can
week
get
there
out
was
here.
a few hot days, and I was, whew.
Yeah, no. So this year is your first year as an amateur in the A class. Is
Yep.
that right? Okay. So we kind of talked about this earlier. The plan is to try to have a very strong year this year, and then you're looking to put a big emphasis on Lorettas.
Yeah.
Obviously with the hopes of trying to get a ride or something for next year. Let's kind of take it through. We weren't sure whether it was 17 or 18 where you really stepped it up and you were doing the full amateur circuit. What was that like? Because, I mean, I know it's one thing just to train for Lorettas, but to train for each one of these races, it's got to be a little bit different.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess in between, you have goals for each race, obviously, and in between, they could get better. Or you could either say, I wanted to get 5th, but I got 10th, and that could be your goal for the next race. It's definitely different. But then you always come back. If you don't do good, you always come back and we'll obviously want to do better at the next one. So it's also nice. I like it.
Yeah, it seems like you got a pretty level head. You don't really get frustrated with it. And I mean, any of the tracks that you like really prefer over the others or really dislike?
I really like Daytona. Freestone is not
your forte.
Yeah, that's not. I don't know. That's like the only track I really don't like. I struggle pretty bad there.
Any particular reason, or is it just?
I don't know.
Just one of those things. Yeah. It
Just
seems to be like me and Gatorback.
Tracks,
I crashed pulling into the driveway in there, and so.
I just always have bad luck when I'm there. So.
Now I know a lot of people kind of complain about Lorettas. They seem to like, oh, it's not really that good a track. It's too tight. It's too small. Are you one of those guys where you kind of like it?
I like it. I think it separates men from the boys. I mean,
absolutely.
Honestly, it's so rough that I don't know. It's just.
It definitely,
different
I mean, like,
than anything else you ever ride.
Besides from the 3 moto format and stuff like that, just the way the track seems to shape up, and I don't think you find it that intense of a track anywhere where even when you're not going super fast, it's so rough and so many ruts and stuff like that. It's still it's
Keeps
a lot
you on
to,
your
yeah, it's
toes.
still a lot to take in. Exactly. So how's your kind of track record been at the ranch? I mean, have you had some success, been satisfied with your results out there?
Yeah, last year was like my first really, I guess, good year. I think in 2017 I got hurt, so I obviously missed it. And then 2016 I had a couple good motos inside the top 10 and schoolboy classes, but nothing where I wanted to be, obviously. And then last year, like I said, it was my first real year, good year.
Cool. Yeah, so we kind of talked about your injuries earlier. Take us through your list. We were discussing about how this sport is just so brutal, and both of us consider ourselves pretty lucky as far as injuries go, but to the people out there that don't do this on a regular basis, we get broken up quite a fair bit.
So I think I broke my right leg twice, my left leg once, my right arm twice, and then my left arm once, and then just dislocated my shoulder, and that's it.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
That's not bad. Something slight.
Some
you could do a lot worse.
A lot worse.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty happy with that.
Yeah, I think as far as like the pain and with age comes, I think motocross racers or something.
I was feeling it last night.
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh dang, I'm sore today.
I gotta wake up and stretch before I stretch. Yeah, it's
literally.
I'm always popping somewhere and stuff like that. Yeah, but so as far as this year, we kind of mentioned earlier about the regionals. We had kind of planned on doing a podcast a little earlier in the year, and your first regional was High Point. Where were the areas that you hit?
Oh, so I did 3 areas: Northeast, Southeast, and Mideast. And I think the first one I did was Travelers Rest, South Carolina.
Okay.
The second one, where did I go? Briarcliff in Ohio's Nashport, Ohio, I think.
Okay.
Where was my third? My third one was at Birch Creek.
Okay, sweet.
So,
Pretty local. Yeah. How is Travelers Rest? I tried to go. I went out there with Red Bull, and because that's Jessica Patterson's place, right?
Yeah.
She's a monster athlete, and so we weren't. I literally drove all the way down there, and we had to turn around and come back. Yeah. So.
I didn't,
But how's that track? It looks pretty fun.
Yeah, it was pretty. I liked it. I rode or obviously they had it on the outdoor track. I liked it. I thought it was a pretty good track.
I saw Cooper Webb posted something like yesterday or something on his.
Yeah, I guess they're doing night races,
like a
on
Wednesday night race series.
That's pretty cool.
Like that. Yeah, no, that'd be pretty interesting. Have you done any of like the NCMP or the Sugar Tree Supercross races?
I haven't. I've done like a lot of the Victory Sports indoors and stuff.
Cool.
You know, that they have during the winter.
Yeah,
time.
I've never gotten to do any of those, but they look pretty fun.
Mostly just trying to make some money.
Yeah,
in the winter,
just trying to get out there, and get behind a gate at least.
Yeah.
So as far as the areas go, I mean, obviously we got top 7, but I mean, were we satisfied with the performance out there? Any big problems we run into?
No, I mean, I was pretty happy with how I rode at most of them, anyways.
Cool.
Had a couple of crashes, but normal stuff.
Things happen, yeah. So the first regional was obviously at High Point.
Mm-hmm.
The big name there was Seth Hamaker, who, for anybody that doesn't know, is Pro Circuit Kawasaki's kind of next guy that they're looking to bring up. I believe they're talking about bringing him up next year after, or maybe even outdoors after Loretta's this year.
Yeah, I'm not sure at all.
But yeah, so I mean, looking just at the scoreboards, 3 motos, you beat them in 2 of them, and then so the other moto, you were kind of telling me about this earlier. How did that work? You had 2 different.
Yeah, so there was like, I don't know, 60 of us or something. So they just split us in half, and we had 2 different divisions, and he was in the first one, I was in the second one.
So every time you guys lined up against each other, you wound up on top.
Yeah, well, at least on the 450. The 250, he got me there, but
I understand.
The 450 class.
No, you had a little bit of bad luck in the 250 class.
Yeah, I went down the first minute. Actually, I hit him, or I clipped his back wheel and went down. Just rider air, whatever.
So what's it like? I mean, like, obviously you've got some great guys that have been helping you out, and you've got some, your bike sounded awesome even today. But what's it like going up against some of those factory guys, whether it's the Orange Brigade KTM or even the Team Green guys, and being able to stick it to them? Does that give you, you kind of get off a little bit on that, being able to say, like, I'm one of those guys, or is it just more
yes
fuel
and no,
for the fire?
It would be nice to obviously have a factory ride, but it is cool to say, like, my parents pay for everything almost, so it's nice to cool. It's kind of cool to say that, like, they get everything paid for, free bikes, and I'm over here
still
hitting out of a van. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
So I think that's pretty cool, yeah.
Do you kind of use that as motivation through the week when you're training and stuff like that?
Yeah, really, yeah.
So now, and then you weren't able to qualify. What was it, DNF 4.4 in the 250?
Yeah, DNF 4.4, yeah.
So the plan was that right after he got back from High Point was to do our episode, but then the following week you had to go down to Gatorback.
Let me go back on.
Yeah, tell us the story here.
The DNF 4.4, the 4-4. I was on borrowed bikes all weekend, so I just don't. I don't know.
That's impressive.
I mean, that's not bad for borrowed bikes, but I was on borrowed bikes, so I just wanted to get that out there.
Yeah, just let that know. Everybody. It wasn't my setup.
Yeah.
Well, cool. So, and then so you had all your stuff for Gatorback.
Yep. I just raced the one class though, just the 250 class. So
cool. What were the results out there?
So the first moto, I got 12th. I went down twice. I went down off the start,
and
then I got back up to like 5th or so, I think. And I was like, all right, I'm good here. And I was riding fine. I caught up to 4th, and I was like, okay, I can make this pass. And I just went down again and ended up getting 12th. I think I went 12.53 for 6th overall.
So just barely stayed in.
Yeah, just barely got in.
Yeah, we were talking about earlier with those regionals. I mean, obviously, if you're at the regional, you're proving you're a good rider, but the motos are just so short.
Yeah.
You go down on a start or something like that.
It's almost over.
Yeah, it's really difficult to get back through the front of the pack, and so that's pretty impressive. Now, how far did you fall back to that second time you fell? Did you kind of fall in a 12th and just hang out there, basically?
I think I probably fell, 14 somewhere, because it was on the last lap, so it was somewhere, I'm sure.
You had no time at all.
Yeah, so.
Just one of those things. Well, now at least you're all qualified. Your sole focus is going to Loretta's. we're out here, like I said, it's south of the border. I've kind of gotten a glimpse at your day-to-day grind. Matt Michelia has been out here. I saw him coaching you guys earlier. What's it been like since he's come to south of the border, and has he brought anything different to the way you guys train?
Yeah, for sure. Him and Brandon Shear both have really helped me a lot. I like them both. I don't have anything bad to say about them. They've helped me a lot, and just can't wait for what the future holds, honestly.
Awesome, man. Now, what do you think has been like the biggest thing you've stepped up as far as on your program, whether it be like just the off the bike fitness, nutrition, even just, little changes you've made riding on the bike? What do you think's kind of helped you go to that next level?
Probably the most would be this year would be probably the fitness, honestly. I've always been kind of lacking that, and both my parents told me this year that I had to take it really serious, or, it's getting to the point where it costs a lot of money to race dirt bikes. So.
Absolutely.
So.
Cool. Well, with that, what are we expecting here? I mean, obviously Seth, I would consider him a title favorite going into Loretta's. To know that you can run with him consistently, I mean, where's your mindset and mentality going into the ranch?
Honestly, like if I had a top 5, I think that would be a good moto. I want to be on the podium, but also at the same time, my first year in A class, being 17, I'd be happy with a top 5. Like,
and that's another thing that we haven't talked about is just how young you are, and so you do still have some time to get your feet wet a little bit in this A class, and I mean it's got to be a whole different animal as far as just the intensity. Yeah,
those guys are not afraid to hurt you at all.
Absolutely,
they just send it.
Well, and it's like 1st through 40th, like everybody, especially
everyone's
at the ranch,
fast.
Everyone's fast. Yeah, putting in work.
That's what me and my dad were talking about at the Gatorback Regional. There were like 6 of us that could win it.
Well, I swear, those Florida people, they're a different breed.
Yeah,
I'd go out there, yeah.
But yeah, that's what my dad was saying. He's like, dude, there's like 6 people that could win it, literally. Like that's. I'm like, yeah.
Well, I mean, that's just one region. Like, you look at pretty much every region, they seem to have at least one guy that's like genuinely got a chance.
Yeah, we didn't even have like all the Honda guys. None of the Suzuki guys were there. So
now, as far as like trying to ride with other people and stuff, do you pretty much just stick to your south of the border, kind of that program, or do you like to go out to different tracks and try to almost seek out some competition?
I mean, yes and no. I mostly just keep it local around here for the most part, unless I'm racing.
Right. Now, that's another point. Like, you hear people, they don't race at all before Lorettas. They want to be as safe as possible, and then you hear about the people that they try to get behind as many gates as they can just for that racing intensity.
Yeah.
What side of the fence do you lean on with that?
Honestly, to me, I feel like if you're going to get hurt, it could happen anywhere. Like riding every day, I ride every day for a couple hours, so, I mean, I could get hurt in the morning. It doesn't matter what I'm doing, you know what I mean? But racing too, that's definitely a good thing to do before the race.
Now, do you feel like for me, I'm a really crappy practicer. Like for me, it's like I know if the pressure's not on, I don't have to send it quite as much. Right. But it seems like when race time comes along, I'm giving it everything I have. Are you able to replicate that intensity out here with the?
Yeah, definitely. Especially when you're riding with some fast guys. I got a couple fast guys that I get to ride with every day, and that helps obviously a lot. So, yeah. For sure.
Cool, awesome. Well, beyond Loretta's, I'm assuming we're going for Minios, and then in a perfect world, you're gonna go 1-1-1 at Loretta's. You're gonna have 2 titles, and then from there, hopefully get a ride.
Yeah.
And then as far as next year goes, any plans made already? Are we looking for Monster Cup this year too? Hoping to do that?
Yeah, that's a plan right now. Is to go to Loretta's, and then I think Monster Cup, then Minios. And then just kind of play it by ear. If I get a ride and when I go pro, I go pro. But if I don't, I think it'd be a good idea to stay amateur again. So
cool, absolutely. Now, do you consider yourself more of a? We were kind of talking about this, just the Supercross style. This is another guy, 6 style, big whips, all kinds of cool stuff I can't do.
I like Supercross a little bit better, just because if you get into a flow on Supercross, it's fun.
Right.
Your seat bounces stuff. It's fun. But if you don't and you're not very good at it, then I can see where it's not.
I can see where it's not. Just for anybody out there curious.
Honestly though, like I could see that like getting sketchy is it's not fun.
And it's like, it's just the control you guys have in the air alone. I mean, you guys are so comfortable leaning the bike over and moving the bike and brake tapping and pulling the front end up and stuff like that. Being able to put the bike exactly where you need it on landings and stuff like that. I just ain't got it. Like I kind of go off the face and just figure out where I'm going to land at and hope for the best.
Yeah.
But I definitely can see Supercross being something that suits your style.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, you've been out here. What I saw some trophies in there. Were those from last year or the year before?
Yeah. So I think The one I have my front number plate for Monster Cup that's hanging up in there.
Okay.
And then I got I think a couple of the Evergood plaques or whatever.
Okay, yeah,
up there
yeah.
too.
That's what, is that the snake?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right,
Yep.
sweet.
Yep. I got those 2 from Iowa this year. So.
Cool deal, man. So I mean, you've definitely proven yourself in multiple different aspects and different tracks and stuff like that, and so confidence has got to be feeling good going into the ranch. Now, like we've talked about this with Luke Neese, who we both know.
Yep.
Just kind of the way it seems like everything is put onto Lorettas. Like as far as those people that need to get a ride and people that are working towards becoming a full-time pro. What do you think about the way that the industry kind of almost ignores these other amateur nationals and only looks at Lorettas? Do you think the pressure is good for amateurs to learn as far as how they perform under an immense amount of pressure, or do you kind of not like it?
I mean, yes and no. I don't personally, when I go to the Lorettas, I don't feel any pressure. Like I feel like I don't
just try to go and do your best.
Yeah. But I could see like maybe if I had a ride or something, I could feel I could get. I don't know. Maybe if.
Well, it's like what we were talking about earlier. I think the most pressure-filled point of the whole trip is the regionals.
Regional, yeah.
Because the worst thing you can do is not be on the gate at
Yeah, I was
Lorettas.
just telling you earlier. I was like, dude, I was nervous sitting on the gate for the 3rd moto.
Absolutely.
I don't get like that at Lorettas at all. Like.
Well, and I mean, like the perfect one's always Adam Cincerello. Like,
Yeah.
They said whenever he'd go to Lorettas, he knew it was almost an expectation to come home with a championship, if not multiple. And so for people like that, I feel like it does. It's got to be stressful.
Yeah.
But for somebody that's kind of able to go balls out and prove themselves, it should almost be an opportunity where it's like, all right, 3 motos and.
I guess I take that back. Last year when I guess I was. I don't know if you'd say I was battling for a championship, I guess.
Absolutely.
And the last moto, I did. I mean, I guess I felt a little pressure, but not. I don't know, not that bad at all.
Well, and I mean, pressure makes diamonds, baby. So I mean, sometimes it's good. People seem to perform under, and I mean, if you are going to be a pro, you've got to know how to handle that stuff and stuff like that. And so, well, with that, man, I like I said, I appreciate you coming on for those.
No problem.
If anything sounds funny, if it looks funny, Mark.
His fault?
Yeah, it's my fault,
No,
guys. I just want to go ahead and let him know. Mark has got some summer classes. He wasn't able to come down with me. This man gave me his laptop, gave me his microphone. I have a piece of paper under here with step-by-step instructions on how to get everything set up. And so I'm doing a one-man solo show out here today. But thank you to Mark for lending me all this stuff and showing me how to do it. But no, man, thank you for letting me come down here. For real, I've been taking photos all day. Yeah, no, we've got some GoPro footage of you riding as well that we're going to throw up. And so for anybody that hasn't checked them out, what's the Instagram? We got to plug the gram.
Simonson_70.
There it is, Simonson_70. And so everybody check them out. And then let's hear the sponsors, man. Read through them. Everybody that's helping you out as well.
Yamaha Lumberton, Reeling Graphics, Race Tech, Ryan from SOB. He helps me out a ton. Let's see who else is on here.
We got Pedro down here.
Yeah, we got Pedro. 100%.
Cool deal, man. You got a good group of guys behind you.
Yeah, for sure.
No, for sure. Awesome. Well, man, we wish you the best of luck. Obviously, we're going to stay in touch before Loretta's. And then, like I said, I want to see those 2 number 1 plates.
I got you.
He's going to be back on the Upshift MX
I'll come
podcast.
back with
2
them
plates.
like this.
Yeah, he's going to be smiling. And so have a factory ride set up. Yeah, everything will be worked out.
Yeah,
by
everything
the next
will
time
be
we
different.
talk.
All this.
Yeah. But awesome, man. Well, thank you for coming on. And, guys, this has been episode 9, Upshift MX. We're going to call this the Amateur Hour. You have been our first amateur rider that we've gotten to talk to, so that's cool. Trying to give these guys an opportunity to get used to talking to media, or at least somebody pretending to be media before they go pro. And so, man, this has been a lot of fun. And
sure.
like I said, I'm going to have to come out and at least get in y'all's way at least one time out here at South
cool,
Border.
whatever.
So it's been like 5 years since I've been out here. And, my knee started to hurt when I pulled back onto the facility.
Dang,
I was like,
now.
I saw that back turn where I did it at, and I was like, no, the memory's still there. But it's been a good time. Thank you to Mike Burkeen for letting me come out and shoot some photos. And, next time we'll see you guys, episode 10. Wow, on 10 episodes already. Thank you for everyone that's listening. Like I said, I've got a group of people that give me consistent feedback every week, and I really do appreciate it. If you have any criticism, if you think I suck, if you think I'm good, I'd love to hear the positive stuff, but I also would really like to hear the negative. And so let me know what I can do better, and I'm working to try to turn into the next Ralph Sheen, next Daniel Blair, something like that. And
Gotta start somewhere.
Yeah,
man.
hey, we'll see where it goes. We're having a good time doing it and listening to some cool stories, so I'm happy about it. But, thanks, guys. This has been episode 9. We'll see you next time.
Later.